This is a photo of Father James Grappi associated with the St. Boniface Church here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but this photo is unrelated to that. Here he can be seen with children from the church joining the Milwaukee Public School boycott of 1964 to 1965. The reason for this boycott was that even though schools were quote-unquote desegregated, it didn't feel like it. When African American students were brought to all-white schools, classrooms, cafeterias, and both in-school and after-school activities remained segregated. African American students were pushed into vocational classes as opposed to the business classes, which had a high white percentage, and overall, white-only schools still had a much higher quality of education. Grappi, along with Lloyd Barbie and Val Phillips, created MUSIC, Milwaukee United Schools Integration Committee, which organized the boycotts and gave participants the opportunity to attend freedom schools. Freedom schools offered free, volunteer-based education for students to receive that participated in the boycotts. Here they would learn the same subjects as in regular school, but with added curriculum about African American history and culture, along with segregation, racism, and discrimination, all things that regular public schools did not offer. During the 1964 boycott in Milwaukee, around 8,500 of the participants attended such schools. In 1965, MUSIC organized another three-day boycott, and Barbie had even filed a lawsuit against the Milwaukee Public School Board. However, it was not until a decade later that the legal action finally resolved and Milwaukee Public Schools were deemed illegally segregated and were instructed to desegregate. However, even with this, MPS remains disproportionate in terms of racial distributions, and with Milwaukee itself being a highly segregated city, this comes as no surprise. Zip code 53206 is considered the worst zip code in Milwaukee, and one of the public schools there, La Folla Elementary School, has a 100% minority enrollment, with 96.9% of students being Black or African American, and the school sits at a 3% for both reading and math proficiency. The neighboring zip code, 53205, has Starnes Discovery Elementary School with a 99.3% minority enrollment and a 92% Black or African American student enrollment. This school also has similar proficiencies with a 3% in math and 4% in reading. This is all of 2021. These two zip codes are among the lowest in Wisconsin in terms of socioeconomics and were both redline districts. This is one of the main reasons for the persistence of inequality in education. Schools located in redline areas receive less funding due to lower property taxes, which lead to lower rates of achievement. Fewer educational materials and extracurricular activities are also a result of low funding and maintenance. And when schools that have these issues are heavily minority attended, even though schools have been desegregated, African American children continue to receive a lesser education than their white counterparts. Social atmospheres may have changed with more and more people being inclusive and open-minded, but structurally much remains the same. On a positive note, though, MPS teachers have required courses, two examples being Talking About Race and Courageous Conversations About Race Exploration, that aim to make school environments as welcoming and as equal as possible for every student involved. The civil rights movement has made great progress socially and has made a lasting impact, but the educational system has still not outrun the consequences of racism in the 50s and 60s.